Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Coffee with Carl. I'm your host, Carl Zoellner. I'm one of the attorneys with Anderson Business Advisors. And today's subject, we're going to talk about DBAs. I get lots of questions on what it is, how it works, is it appropriate? So let's talk a little bit about some of the differences or where the appropriate ways to use them. DBA is just a simple form of doing business as, meaning you're using, some states call it a fictitious name. What it is doing business in a name that is not an official name as, say, the Secretary of State would recognize it. So as an example, say I had Imperial LLC. I like the name of the LLC, so I'm using Imperial LLC. However, I'd like to now either use a separate name, say I'm maybe using or want to potentially get into landscaping or multi-level marketing or something like that, and I want to use a different name, that would be a time to use a DBA. DBAs are sort of neat because they can allow you, once you file it with your Secretary of State, some places even make you file it with the county if you're doing business in that county. But when you file it, you can actually even, once it's registered, you can actually set up a separate bank account for it. But really the flexibility allows you to use a different business name in, say, the same business entity. So if I had a corporation and say that corporation's main purpose was management of real estate or actively managing flip properties, things like that, but my wife wanted to have her own multi-level marketing company, so say, Essential Oils or something like this, we could file a DBA for that corporation, set up a separate bank account, and it could be, Essential Oils, it would be the name, the DBA name. Okay, so it's interesting in that it's an interesting tool. The problem or the thing you run into is this: a DBA does not provide asset protection. It simply provides a name. Additionally, if you were to look up a DBA on the Secretary of State website, it would connect directly to that business entity or individual that filed the DBA, and so that you would be able to see that. So we still would need to use business entities, but it is an interesting tool if you want to use it, say, for multiple streams of businesses, or if you maybe have numerous very small businesses. It's an interesting tool that's out there that you can use. Like I said, the real shortcoming, though, is that it does not provide asset protection. To me, it's also creative or also a good way. Like I said, I like that it has a separate bank account, because if I'm doing a separate business and I want somebody to, say, write me a check, I can have them pay that other bank account. Also help for bookkeeping and accounting, making sure everything goes where it's supposed to, and you can see where the money's generated. Also keep track of your books. But the DBA is, like I said, it's simply using a different name, a fictitious name, as some states refer to it, and that's sort of its base use. Now, interestingly enough, when you say, I guess Texas is at the front of my mind today, but say if you want to foreign file your business, say if you had a business, maybe you started in California, and you want to actually move that business, say if you're moving to Texas or one of the other states you're moving to. In Texas, a DBA is actually how you file or transfer a business by filing that fictitious name so that you can use it in the state of Texas. So there's lots of little nooks and crannies when we're talking about DBAs and their purposes and their uses. However, the main thing to take away from this is it's a cool tool you have available to you. Usually they're very reasonable to file. Make sure you're using somebody who knows what they're doing when they file it. Otherwise, you may just be sort of throwing money away if it's not done appropriately or correctly for the type of business you're going to be conducting, especially in the state you're conducting it in. Like I said, some states just say file it at the state level. Others want you to file at the county level. But make sure you have somebody who can do that for you. That is one of the services we provide as well. So if you want to use Anderson Advisors, always happy to help you and talk to you about that. Once again, please take advantage of all of our free content. Come to one of our 3-day asset protection and tax classes so you can get your individual consultation, as well as a wealth planning blueprint drawn out for you. It's going to be exciting to see you all there at the next one if you're attending. Otherwise, this is Coffee with Carl, and I'm Carl Zoellner. It was good speaking with you, and we'll catch you next episode. Thank you.